If there's a disagreement for physical custody, how's it decided? If you can't reach them, if you can't establish a schedule in mediation, if you can't establish a schedule in any other way, you have to have a custody evaluation where the parties will hire a psychologist or a psychiatrist to do a custody evaluation along the lines of the American Psychological Association guidelines, which means that they have to interview the parties at least 2 or 3 times each. They interview the parties along with the children together at least a couple times. They interview the children separately. They go to the homes of each party and see the children in their home setting. They bring the children to their office and have the parents play with them in like a room if they're little, or interact with them with the doctor if they're older. That's the clinical interview part of it. The second part of it is collateral contacts. Each parent give me 5 to 10 names of people that will write to the doctor on behalf of the parent. Not your mother, father, sister, but guidance counselor, babysitter, as far removed from a family member as you can be, yet a person who's in your life and can give notable information. Collateral contacts. Clinical interviews of everyone, of the children and the parents, watching them interact, home visits, collateral contacts, 5 to 10 people, and psychological testing. MMPI 2, 567 questions. Both parents take it. What does it do? Throughout the test, there's things called critical items, critical questions. The parents don't know where they are, but they're strewn throughout the 500 questions. There'll be maybe 7 questions about anger, 7 questions about lying, 7 questions about exaggeration, 7 questions about hyperactivity. You don't know where they are. At the end of the test, when it's scored, those critical items are scored, and the control group is what you're based on. So the test results are a person who scored like this should have characteristics like this. And that's what the test tells. These answers indicate the person is this. Now the doctor takes the answers, what the person shows, who answered that way, and looks at the interviews, and he cross-references there, looks at the collateral contacts, and the answers said this person is angry, volatile, will disrespect authority. The collateral contacts indicate that the guidance counselor was accosted by this person. The principal was yelled at by the mother. The father has a DUI, and the questions indicated a possibility for addiction. So the cross-reference of the text to test characteristics against the collateral contacts and the interviews is how the psychologist comes up with the picture. And then based on those indicators, the psychologist will write a report with everything in it, ultimately making a recommendation to the judge as to who should be the parent of primary residence and who should be the parent of alternate residence, and most likely joint legal custody. However, there are times lately that they're saying joint legal custody with the domain of education with one parent, or the domain of medication with one parent, because the child does have ADHD and needs the medicine, but one parent won't give it to them, so this parent maintains only the medical decisions. Everything else is joint legal. By and large, it's joint legal, though. If one issue is taken away, it's called a domain. That's what the recommendation will be like. Now the person, if they like the recommendations, the 2 people, they could agree to it, they put it in place. Maybe they tweak it a little bit. Each party has the right to hire their own private doctor, their own private evaluator, and have another evaluation. The evaluation itself is not intrusive, although many parents think it is, and they're like, I don't want my child to go through an evaluation. These doctors are professionals. They're not people that are scary to the kids. In their offices, they have dolls and things that the kids can play with in games. They're very nice, these evaluators. It's a good setup. So the evaluation is not a problem. To have multiple evaluations, more than 2, is an issue. But for the parent who doesn't agree with the mutually chosen psychologist's recommendation, to have one other evaluation, I personally don't think is a problem, and it happens in many, many, many cases.